So I'm going to start with a chicken about 4 to 5 pounds, a whole chicken. And the first thing I'm going to do is pat it dry. And that helps it brown when it's in the oven. And then salt it inside and out. Lots of salt. You want it to have fantastic flavor. And pepper. I want lots of flavor in it. So I'm going to take lemon. I'm just going to cut it in big quarters. Just like that. I'm going to put half a lemon inside the chicken. And then when it roasts, all the lemon juices and the chicken, and then I'm going to put garlic in too. So that's going to roast in. Don't have to peel the garlic. You don't have to do anything. Just cut it right in half, and all that fabulous garlic's going to be in the chicken. Right inside. Okay, into a roasting pan. And then we're going to cook it with lots of wonderful flavors, onions, more lemon. First, I'm going to tie this little guy together. There are lots of ways to truss a chicken, but I hate when it looks like it's in bondage. All you have to do is tie the legs together. Now, trussing is really just about making sure the chicken roasts evenly. If the legs are out like that, they're not going to roast at the same time the rest of the body of the chicken. Just take the wings, just tuck them under. Just like that. Perfect. A little olive oil so it browns beautifully. Just drizzle it on. Clean hands are the best tools. And salt and pepper on top. I want this to be the best chicken ever. Okay, that's the chicken. Next I'm going to do lemons and onions. And I'm going to mix them together and roast them with the chicken. And not only will I serve them with the chicken, but it's going to become the sauce too. It's going to be fab. So I'm going to just do this in the bowl. You can do it in the pan, but I just like to toss it together in the bowl. So I've got the half a lemon that I've left over. I'm going to do another lemon. It's actually amazing. You never think of eating cooked lemon, including the rind, but when it's roasted with the chicken, it sort of caramelizes a little bit, and it's so delicious. A little bit bitter, but I like that. And it's really good. And of course, the juice makes the sauce, which is fabulous. So I'm going to cut up big, thick slices of 2 Spanish onions. I actually like Spanish onions. They're a little sweeter than regular onions. There's lots of vegetables. It makes lots of sauce and vegetables to serve along with it. It's big, rough slices. 2 tablespoons of good olive oil. Just drizzle it on top. About a teaspoon of salt. This is why I like to do it in a bowl, so you get it really well mixed. Half a teaspoon of pepper. Clean hands again. Okay, and then we take all of this and just put it right around the chicken. And it's all going to roast together. All the chicken juices and the lemon juices and the onions, they're all going to cook together. It's going to be so delicious. This is my version of the Glamour Magazine Girls Engagement Chicken. Okay, into the oven, 425 degrees, and depending on how big the chicken is, it'll be about an hour and 15, an hour and 30 minutes, and this is going to be the most delicious engagement chicken. The first thing I'm going to do is make an herb oil, which I'm going to brush on the chicken. And it's thyme, fennel. It's going to make it delicious. I don't know why, but in every book, there's one recipe that everybody seems to make. In Cook Like a Pro, it was red wine braised short ribs. And in Cooking for Jeffrey, it was the skillet roasted lemon chicken. Every time somebody stopped me after that book came out, they said, "You know what I made? Skillet roasted lemon chicken." I was like, "Oh, really?" Me too. Okay, so I need 2 teaspoons of fresh thyme leaves. I'm going to grind it up in a little food processor, so you don't even need to chop it. 1 and 2. I think fresh thyme for this is so important. And then 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds. These are whole fennel seeds. 1 tablespoon of salt. I want it to be really well seasoned. And 1 teaspoon of coarsely ground pepper. I love this little pepper mill. Yes, I do measure everything, even my own recipes. Okay, I'm just going to grind all this up. And when you grind it up, the oil from the fennel seeds really flavors it. Okay, that's the seasoning mixed. So the next is 1/3 cup of olive oil. And the seasoning mix. Just stir it together. Okay, so that's the herb oil that's gonna flavor the chicken. Okay, next I've got this huge cast iron skillet, and it's perfect for roasting this chicken. So I've got 1 onion, thinly sliced, just distributed it so it's even. I love these flavors, they're my favorite. Onions, garlic, lemon, thyme, fennel. Then 2 cloves of garlic that I've thinly sliced. I'm just gonna distribute them around. And 1 lemon. I sliced it in half and then sliced it thinly, so they're like in half rounds. And what's amazing about this, when the chicken cooks on top of it, the juices and the white wine that I'm gonna put in and the onions, they all cook together, and you can eat the whole lemon, rind and all. It's so good. Okay, that's the bottom of it. Next is the chicken. So what I did was I asked the butcher to butterfly a chicken, which means you take out the backbone and kind of lay it flat. And that way it's very even and it cooks really quickly. So I'm gonna take some paper towels and just pat dry the skin. If the skin is dry, and then I'm gonna put the herb olive oil on, it gets nice and brown. Just what you want the chicken to do. I buy my chicken from a local chicken farm called Iacona. Everybody loved Mr. Iacona. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but his wife Eileen is. He used to have a goose named Shadow who would follow him around. I guess the goose loved him too. They'd go from the house to the store and back to the house together. Okay, so I'm gonna put this upside down, skin side down, on the onions and the lemon and garlic, and brush half the oil right on the chicken. It's gonna flavor it incredibly well. This is a great dish for entertaining because you can really assemble it in advance. I mean, never mind, it's so fast to make. And put the whole thing in the refrigerator and then just throw it in the oven before dinner. I've done it many times. When I'm really in a hurry and I don't have much time to make dinner for friends, Skillet lemon chicken is on the menu. Okay, I'm just gonna turn this over. Make sure all the lemons and onions are in the bottom of the pan. And then put the rest of the herb olive oil on top so the skin gets nice and brown and the chicken's beautifully flavored. Actually, I like to serve this with roasted broccolini and couscous, both of which take no time at all to make. And the sauce from the chicken and all of that together is just fantastic. Okay, that's ready. I'm just gonna put it in the oven, 450 degrees for 45 minutes. It's a hot oven, but it cooks fast. And then about 30 minutes in, I'm gonna take some white wine and just put it around it, and it's gonna make the most delicious sauce. Okay, into the oven. Oh, that's a big baby. So when the 30 minutes is up, I'll pour a half a cup of white wine around the chicken, not on it, otherwise the skin won't brown, and cook it for another 15 minutes. And in the meantime, I'm heading out to the herb garden. It's nice and cool in here. I smell chicken, it smells so good. Okay, let's see how it's doing. So, oh, this is fantastic. Look how good this looks. So it's chicken and sauce, slam. So I'm gonna add a few things just to give it more flavor at the end. You know, as I've developed as a cook, one of the things I've learned is the thing that you add at the end that you taste first. So I always try and find something that's in the dish, and then that flavor of the lemon is gonna be like the first thing that hits your tongue when you taste it. As it rests, it really just absorbs the flavor. Seeds and all. Don't worry about the seeds. People will know it's real lemon. Okay, so the juice of 1 lemon. And just to give this a little more flavor, and I have lots of rosemary outside, I thought I'd add just a little bit of rosemary. So it's got thyme, and it's got fennel, garlic, onion, just a little bit of rosemary, just to give it extra flavor. Okay, I'm just gonna give it a rough chop. Rosemary is really strong, so you don't want too much. Just enough to give it another layer of flavor. This is the kind of chicken that even if you're a first-time cook, you can make. And if you're an experienced cook, you'd be happy to make. Okay, just a little sprinkling of rosemary on the top. This is gonna be great. Okay, now I'm gonna let it rest. 15 minutes, and all the flavors kind of get back into the chicken, all the juices, and it's just so much moister and more delicious. Can't wait. Time to carve the chicken. It smells great. I wish you could smell it. And the best part of this chicken is you don't have to carve it the way you usually carve a chicken. All I do is cut it in quarters. And that's one of the best things about butterflying it. It's like really easy to cut in quarters. Isn't this amazing? I love the way it looks. It's the perfectly browned chicken and all that gorgeous sauce underneath. And you can put it on a platter, but I like the rustic kind of feeling of just serving it right out of the pan. Everybody can just help themselves. I'm just gonna spoon the sauce right over the chicken so everybody gets chicken and sauce all together. And this is the amazing thing about this dish, is you actually get cooked lemon. It's really tender and it caramelizes with the onions. Look at that sauce, isn't that great? I actually like the sauce as much as the chicken. That is so good. This might actually be my favorite chicken of all times. Yum. Everybody needs to know how to make a roast chicken. Even my friend Susan Stroman. So I'm gonna show her how to do a really easy roast chicken and get lots of flavor.
That's beautiful.
How's that for a chicken?
That's a good
First thing
looking
I do, actually, is I salt it in advance. When it comes home from the store, I salt it, put it in the fridge, and all that salt gets into the meat, so it gives it lots of flavor.
Okay.
I'm gonna salt and pepper the inside. You taking good notes?
I am. Salt and pepper the inside. Now, what kind of salt do you use?
I actually use kosher salt, which I think is a little softer than table salt.
Okay.
So you know those big boxes you can find in the grocery store? Salt and pepper the inside. It's all about getting flavor into it,
Right.
okay? So I'm gonna take a head of garlic, a whole head of garlic. Don't peel it, don't do anything.
Oh.
Just cut the whole thing right in half. And it goes right in the inside. And I think a lemon really does a lot for it. So I'm gonna cut it in quarters. And just shove that little lemon in there. So you tie up its little legs just like that. So that keeps it close to the body.
Okay.
And then what I do is just tuck the wings under itself. Instead of tying it up like the chicken's in bondage. It's just so much easier. Just do that.
Oh.
So one of the key things is you want to make sure the pan's not too big, because if it's too big, the vegetables in the pan are going to burn. So the first thing I'm going to put in the pan is onions. Okay, carrots into the pan. 4 carrots. And the last thing is potatoes, and I love these, the Yukon Gold potatoes. And now my chicken. So it's a 5 to 6 pound chicken. It serves 3 people probably.
3 people.
And now, in order for the chicken to brown, really important, you want to dry it.
Okay.
Paper towel. I'm just gonna go wash my hands and I'll show you the next part.
Okay.
Don't have any fun until I get back.
I will wait.
Okay, a little butter. I'm just gonna brush the outside of the skin.
And what does butter really do?
It flavors it, but also the milk solids in the butter actually burn a little bit, so that actually browns the chicken.
It looks
And
fantastic.
then drizzle a little bit on the potatoes and the onions and the carrots. Just mix it up a little bit. Lots of salt and pepper on the chicken and on the vegetables. And that's it. So into the oven, 425 degrees.
Okay.
For between an hour and 15 and an hour and 30 minutes. Just take the chicken out,
Yes.
cover it with aluminum foil, and take the vegetables in the pan and put it right back in the oven for 15 minutes. Let them keep cooking.
Great.
And that way the juices in the chicken get back into the meat, and it's unbelievable how different it is.
Then what happens?
Then we have to carve it.
Oh.
And how's that for a chicken? Not bad.
Needs applause.
I'm making duck breast with dried cherries and port wine. Seems a little like a restaurant-style dish, but it's totally doable at home. So I'm starting with 2 1-pound duck breasts. I'll show you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pound a little bit thinner so it tenderizes it, and it also makes it even. It cooks evenly when you put it in the pan. You don't want it really thin, you just want it evenly thin. So let's see. I use a rolling pin, you can use a meat mallet. A little bit more. I've got one done, and I'm just gonna do the last one. You want these about 1 inch thick throughout so they cook really evenly. Almost there. These ducks are called mallard, which is different from that mallard duck swimming around in your pond. They're different. Best part is the skin's gonna be really crispy and the meat's gonna be so tender. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna season it with lots of salt because I want the salt to get into the meat. So it's 2 teaspoons of salt, on both sides, and then the 2 teaspoons on the other side. It seems like a lot of salt, but it really makes a difference. Okay, just gonna wash my hands, and then I'm gonna take it to the fridge and leave it there for 6 hours, and all the salt is gonna get into the meat, and it's gonna be so perfectly seasoned. Everybody's had duck where it's like really salty on the outside and kind of dead inside. This is gonna be perfect. Okay, into the fridge. And since I'm way too impatient to wait 6 hours, I have some that I put in 6 hours ago. So these are the ducks that have been marinated or seasoned. I'm just gonna turn them over, and I'm gonna score the top just lightly. You don't wanna cut all the way through to the meat. Just 3 in one direction, 3 in the other direction. And that allows the fat to cook off while it's cooking, because you want the skin to be as dry as you can. This is gonna ensure 2 perfect duck breasts. Okay, ready to cook them. This is how I do it. I'll put the breasts skin side down in a large, heavy-bottomed, oven-proof skillet with a tablespoon of canola oil and cook them uncovered over medium heat for 12 minutes until the skin is very browned. Then I'll turn the duck and put the skillet into a 375-degree oven and roast the duck for 12 minutes. So the duck is done. It's coming out of the oven. Ooh, that smells so good. And I'm gonna let it rest. Resting it allows the juices to get back into the duck, which is really important. It's about 15 minutes. Okay, next is the sauce. So I've sauteed 2 shallots and 2 tablespoons of butter, just until they're tender. Now I'm gonna add lots of good stuff. 1½ tablespoons of sherry vinegar. That vinegar is a really good ingredient. Just think the duck is rich and you want something that's gonna cut the richness, have lots of flavor. 1/2 cup of chicken stock. Next is ruby port wine. It's like a fortified dessert wine. It's just delicious. I'm gonna put 3/4 of a cup in. It's a classic with duck. Okay, 3/4 of a cup of port wine. Next is 1/2 cup of dried cherries. I love these cherries. They're kind of sweet and tart. I really go with duck. Instead of fresh cherries, which aren't really available all the time, these kind of plump up and they're much more intensely flavored. Lots of salt and pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Give it a stir, bring it to a boil, lower the heat, and simmer it for 15 minutes. Wish you could smell the sauce. It's amazing. The cherries are all plumped up and the sauce is reduced. I'm gonna add a few more things. Just about 1/4 cup of creme fraiche, just to give it a little richness, because of course creme fraiche is always good. And then lots of orange. I'm gonna put in about 1 teaspoon of grated orange zest. I'm just gonna do it right over the pan so all the oils from the orange zest get right into the sauce. Oops, wrong side. I love the cherries and orange and sherry vinegar, that little hit of sherry vinegar and port wine. It's gonna be great with the duck. And then about 1/4 cup of freshly squeezed orange juice right into it. Adding the zest and the juice at the end really keeps that kind of brightness of the orange. I don't want it cooking away. That should do it. I'm just gonna stir this all together. Okay, I'm just gonna taste it and make sure the balance of flavors is right. It's really important to taste things as you go along. Wow, that's really good. You can really taste the shallots and cherries and the wine and the sherry vinegar. It's gonna be great with the duck. I love to serve duck with like steamed wild rice with like butter and pepper, maybe roasted carrots. Great combination. Okay, that's the sauce. So next, the duck. So it's been resting for 15 minutes. How good does that look? So I'm just gonna slice it. This is enough for 2, so I want to slice it in pretty thick slices. Look how perfect that is. Ooh, wow. If you have smaller duck breasts, you can have 4 individual ones. But since these were pretty big, I have 1 for 2 people. If you're worried about cooking duck right, just get a little instant read thermometer and test the duck. It should be about 120 degrees for rare and 130 degrees for medium rare. It'll be perfect every time. Okay, that's 1. Now the second one. Just think about the duck. It's a little gamey, which is great. And then the sauce has cherries and orange and cherry vinegar and shallots. It's a great foil for it. Okay, so I'm gonna put the duck on a platter. Let's see if I can do it in one piece. It's amazing. It's still nice and hot from resting. The foil really keeps it hot. That's one, and that's two, and two. I mean, who wouldn't be happy to go to your house and have somebody serve you this? A little sauce right on top. This looks gorgeous. Isn't that beautiful? Look how plump the cherries are. And how just rich and delicious the sauce is. And maybe so people know that there's orange in it, little orange on the platter. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Little orange going down the side. Little salt to finish it. And I would say that's duck breast with dried cherries and port wine. Good enough for a restaurant, but you can make it at home. Have fun. My friend Sarah Chase has written two of my favorite cookbooks of all time, Open House Cooking and Cold Weather Cooking. But the best thing is she was involved in the turkey hotline at Thanksgiving, so she knows everything there is to know about turkeys and the crazy questions, right?
I do.
So she's here to make a turkey with me. Who better to do it? And we're gonna make a turkey with white truffle butter, which I think is such a great idea. And you're gonna put it under the skin, right?
Yes. What we want to do is with your hands, and this is not the most pleasant job in the world, and pretty much you don't want to have anything on your hands like a big rock that's going to tear the turkey skin because you want to keep it
Well, you wanna have a big rock on your hands, but not while you're making the turkey.
Or not this hand that's going underneath the turkey. And then we take wads of butter.
Wads of butter, always a good idea. It is Thanksgiving after all.
We smush it around underneath the skin. And what this butter is going to do is help keep the meat very, very moist and also perfume the entire bird.
I'm just gonna take an onion and cut it in eighths. You don't even have to peel it, just like that.
Because rather than stuffing the turkey, we're just going to put aromatics in the cavity, which actually lessens the roasting time.
Okay, so we've got an onion and a half a head of garlic, the whole thing, peel and all. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is
Let's get
salt
the
and
cavity
pepper it,
ready,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna hold it open and I'm gonna put
Yeah.
salt in, lots of salt.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of salt. Make sure it tastes really good. And pepper. Okay, and then onions.
Okay,
So
we want
got
some
fresh
thyme in there.
Actually, the wackiest story I ever heard is a very good friend put the turkey in the oven, set it, and went for a walk, and came back, couldn't open the oven door. And I said, why? She said, because I set it on clean. So they had to unscrew the door in order to get the turkey out. And I said, what did you do? And she said, I served it. She said, it was very clean. Okay, so should I tie it up?
Sure. Just going to drizzle a couple tablespoons of olive oil over, pat it all over. And this is just almost like suntan lotion. Helps with the even browning, no SPF in here. The turkey roast gets it nice and brown, and you just want to rub a light coating all over. And once that is on, you want to take your time, a little bit extra time.
Isn't that gorgeous?
And just sprinkle it over the top, sort of in a very French bistro manner, and then lots of salt and pepper again on the
Lots of salt
skin.
and pepper.
Because I don't know about you, but I live to eat the turkey skin.
Okay, into the oven, 325 degrees for about 2.5 to 3 hours until the white meat is 160 degrees right in the middle of the breast, and the good news is no basting. About halfway through, when the breast is golden, cover it loosely with aluminum foil just to prevent the skin from burning. And how's this for an idea? If you want the skin to be crisp, don't baste the turkey at all. Take the turkey out to rest for 15 to 20 minutes and cover it tightly with aluminum foil. It'll bring all the juices back into the turkey. I have knives and forks for everybody, or am I gonna, I'm gonna give you a taste. How's that?
All right.
And I'm using my fingers. That's the best turkey I ever had. It was unbelievable. And how easy was that?